Hello, my name's Denise Hawthorne. I'm an artist. I live in Lincolnshire, just north of the city here. I live and work in Lincolnshire. I was a teacher here for over 30 years in a big comprehensive school and then at a college of FE just doing A-level work. And so I've got a long history. My work really, although this work is not Lincolnshire, most of my work is Lincolnshire based, to the point where the first exhibition I had after the pandemic, after the lockdown, on one wall I had 10 pieces of work that were literally 10 minutes or 10 minutes drive from my house. But these two are a long way apart. These are two visits I made last year. This first piece is Corran, up in Scotland. I went up there on a painting week and the weather was appalling, but I got a lot of atmospheric work from that. This piece of work is the Lincolnshire Peninsula in North Wales. I was there with the family and we went for a week's holiday, and the first 2 days, this beach is called Hell's Mouth, with good reason. It's on the Atlantic edge of that peninsula and the storm and the waves are phenomenal. And so for an artist, it was magic. After the first couple of days it calmed down, it was quiet and pretty, so I didn't get as much work done from that point. So it's not usual for me to have pieces of work so far away, but I always enjoy working when I'm on holiday. I take my sketchbooks, I do little bits of work in watercolours, and then when I get back to my studio, then I develop my work from there.
Let's talk about the palette.
One time I met a lovely artist and she said if you can reduce your palette to 4 colours plus white, then your colours will all join up. There'll be no point at which it looks as if the sky has been painted by a different person to this bit or to that bit. My colours run through my whole paintings and I do try to keep to that limited palette. Just free you up, because you can make a very energetic and a very colourful painting that never looks too much, never looks over the top, I feel, yeah.
There's a focal point on the orange spot.
Yes.
How did you decide to put that there?
Sometimes when you're painting, and I always work with light, so that wherever I'm starting from, I consider where the light is coming, and that tends to be the focal point. Maybe there or maybe here, just catching that mountain. On this drab day, it's a different sort of light to that one coming through the clouds. But then as it comes through, when I was putting this orange, greens and oranges, these sort of lichens that you get on these rocks, and as I put that one on, and I thought, that's it, that just catches the light, and so I was quite happy with that one. Yeah. And just recently I've been working on flowers, but I always come back to landscapes, and often Lincolnshire, and I love the fact that it doesn't matter what season you're in, you can walk out in Lincolnshire, which I have done on a day like today, or a really cold, wet, drab February, where the fields are waterlogged and it's greys and browns and drab. And to make a painting out of that atmosphere and that set of colours is more demanding, and I much prefer to do that than pick what people might say a pretty view. I don't do sunsets and that kind of a landscape which appeals to some people, but I like to make a painting out of nothing if I possibly can.
You've been with the association for 25 years?
Yes, at least, yes. This group of artists, if you look around this exhibition, you can see the professionalism and the commitment and the involvement of each of these artists with their work. Everybody has that in common, even though the work is very, very different. And that helps to maintain what I consider to be exceptionally high standards in Lincolnshire. And people do come from a long way to see or to buy their work. Okay.
Do you collaborate with artists from other areas?
I have 2 classes a week, 2 adult classes, and over the years, some of these people don't need me as a teacher anymore, but we just enjoy working together. There are 2 members of Lincolnshire Artists, Rachel Jerrow and Evans. But on the whole, with those classes, I do take beginners, but over the years, we've got a sort of a group of 10 on each day that have been there a long time. And it is inspiring. Monday morning you think, what do you want to do? Hoover under the beds, do the washing, go and paint. And so Monday morning, Tuesday afternoon, I have 2 classes, and we have over the years all worked together and are really encouraging and help each other move forward. Yeah.
You do a lot of plein air.
Yes, a lot, all the time. Most of my work comes from my sketchbooks, occasionally from photographs. This day when it was blowing a gale, I couldn't paint. I did from my bedroom window do some studies, watercolour studies in my sketchbook of the skies, of these huge skies, but you couldn't have stood up outside and painted. But then Corin, I was in my car painting because the rain was just sheeting down. But wherever I am, I do get out there and paint, usually in watercolours or pen and ink and wash. Occasionally very small little acrylics or even oil paints, and then as soon as I get home, as quickly and as soon as I can, whilst I still have that memory of that place and that feeling of the place, and that's what I'm after, the spirit of the place that I've just been to, and so as quickly as I can I then start my bigger canvas. Okay.
What are you working on right now?
Right now, I've got a series of paintings that I did during the winter, which are very, very cold and very, we didn't have much snow in Lincolnshire, so a lot of it is just from quite a drab, almost subdued palette that feel quite cold. And I started with that, and I have done a whole series, and now I'm coming to the end. I'm now moving on to spring flowers, which will be a great joy. I love the spring flowers. I get out even in the garden. I've got corners, wildlife corners, and corners where animals are encouraged to come, as well as formal beds with tulips and iris and what have you. And so yeah, my next move will be working in the garden.
Do you do a lot of teaching?
I work at least one day a week on my own. I work with my 2 art groups. Often I'll do a demonstration that then I take on in my own and develop a finished piece. But I work every week, certainly. At least one day, usually 2 of my own, as well as my classes. Yeah.
How can people find you?
I live in a little village just north of Lincoln, and I do have a website which is in the catalogue, and in fact it's simple, it's just denisehawthorne.com, and on that website there's phone numbers and emails and contact details, but the website is the best place to really look at the sort of work I do, because we only have 2 here, which obviously is then quite limiting for the range of work that I do.
Thank you so much.